One of the questions that I get asked time and time again on my channel is, Florida Maquis, how has your state been able to fight back so effectively against Washington, D.C.? We have patriots in our state, and I know of patriots in others, but they don't seem to have the ability to stand up and fight like Florida has. What's the difference? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you what the difference is. But real fast, I need to give a shout out. Earlier this morning, there was a premiere from the Patriot Nurse channel, and she talked specifically about how to answer religious exemption questions of the quote-unquote mandate. And she goes over it in detail as a trained nurse, as somebody on the front lines who's had to deal with this exact thing. Now, I would very much recommend that you guys go listen to this because there is a great deal of wisdom in it, and it really does sound like we are entering into a new dark ages, a rebirth of the Spanish Inquisition, perhaps, where governments start taking it upon themselves and other entities to interrogate you about your religious beliefs. So, Patriot Nurse, her most recent premiere, definitely go see this. Now, to answer the question we started with, this is why Florida has been able to win. Governor DeSantis in the center, and the 6 individuals on either side of your screen, these are all representatives for Florida in Washington, D.C. That's right. Everybody knows that Governor DeSantis, of course, was a JAG officer in the Navy, served in Iraq. But many people don't know about the other 6 around the outside. In the upper left, we have Brian Mast, representing Florida's 18th Congressional District, combat engineer, lost both of his legs. Florida 18 is Port St. Lucie and Jupiter, for those of you who are wondering. Below him is Michael Waltz, VMI grad, Green Beret, Ranger, 4 Bronze Stars, 2 for Valor. Full disclosure, he's my rep in D.C. from right here in Flagler County, Florida 6. Below him, Vern Buchanan, spent 6 years in the Air National Guard. He represents Bradenton, Florida 16. Upper right, pardon me, Commander Scott Franklin, S-3 Viking pilot, spent 26 years in the Navy. Florida 15, which is Lakeland. Middle right, Major Neil Dunn, surgeon, U.S. Army, 11 years. Walter Reed represents Florida 2, Big Bend, that's Panhandle. And then in the lower right, this is probably one that it's going to surprise a lot of you. That is Captain Greg Stubbe, U.S. Army JAG officer, representing Florida 17, Sarasota, Fort Myers. You have to know how to fight. And the only way you know how to fight is if you've been trained to fight. And to not back down. And to understand what your challenges are, what your mission are, and work as a team. This is why Florida is fighting back, because we have elected fighters. We have elected men who know how to stand up and fight back. Even here in our state house, we talked about this. Representative Anthony Sabatini, in a previous video from yesterday, we talked about him introducing legislation that would arrest and prosecute any federal agent within our borders attempting to enforce Biden's illegal and unconstitutional mandate. Well, guess what? We're not going to sit back and just do that. Today, House Bill 103, constitutional carry. This has been done in other states, I'm aware. But now Florida's doing it. In Florida, bill eliminates the unconstitutional permit program, which requires law-abiding Florida citizens to ask the government for permission and pay money before carrying a firearm. It also allows for open carry. Representative Anthony Sabatini. Now, we're going to do some live stuff today where we listen to Governor DeSantis basically undo what Bill Clinton did so long ago. Many, many years ago, then President Clinton decided to gut the military, not understanding what the long-term ramifications were going to be. And now we can see, well, we're undoing that in Florida. So without any further delay, here is the governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Well, good morning. It's wonderful to be at Camp Blanding. I'm happy to be joined by Dane Eagle, our DEO Secretary, Jamal Sowell, our CEO of Enterprise Florida. We also have Colonel Gray Johnson, Chief of Staff for the Florida National Guard. We have Stan Bozen, who's on the Florida Defense Support Task Force, retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral. Harrison Conyers, who is the Military Affairs and Veterans Department Operations Manager for the City of Jacksonville. We have Representative Sam Garrison, Representative Bobby Payne, Senator Jen Bradley. We've got Scotty Taylor, former Fire Rescue City of Gainesville, Howard Wanamaker, County Manager for Clay County, Lauren Mock, Fire Chief and Deputy County Manager for Clay County. We've got Renninger and Condon, Commissioners Renninger and Condon from the Clay County Commission. And of course, we've got a whole bunch of great Florida National Guardsmen here, and we're happy that they're here. We're happy we could make this announcement here at Camp Landing. We've pride ourselves in Florida on being a very military and veteran-friendly state. We have a huge veteran population, people that serve in the military, particularly in the Navy, since we have so many naval installations. Anytime they get stationed at one of our duty stations here in Florida, they tend to establish that Florida residency, and they don't let it go. They keep it, knowing that at a minimum they'll save on taxes throughout their career, but then almost always wanting to come back and live in Florida at some point after their military service is culminated. So we're proud of that. We're proud of all the people that make our communities better, who have military experience, not just those who are fully retired, but even those who served for a tour or two. We also are proud, and we were here actually in Northeast Florida last week to celebrate or to commemorate the service of folks who have fought in war since September 11th. We had the 20th anniversary on Saturday. It was a really, sad day to look back and look at the lives lost. But it also required us to reflect on the sacrifices that have been made by so many folks. Certainly there that day on September 11th, all the first responders that rushed into the World Trade Center. Also the passengers on United Flight 93 who thwarted an attack, most likely on Washington, D.C., knowing that they were bringing the plane down and ensuring their own demise. But then all the people that have worn the uniform in the time since September 11th, no draft, very small number of folks who've stepped up. Many of them have done multiple combat deployments, and they've carried a lot of load for this country. So we certainly thank them. It's one of the reasons why we're very supportive of making sure veterans have access to things like treatment for post-traumatic stress. And we've supported a lot of different initiatives, not just from the state of Florida, but the private sector has been very good, and military charities. And so we want to keep doing that as well. We are also very proud of the active duty component of the installations that we have. Of course, here at Camp Blanding is the heartbeat of the Florida National Guard, which is a really amazing organization. I mean, they do a whole host of different things, and I know we have guys coming back from Louisiana who responded, helped Louisiana respond to that hurricane. Of course, anytime we have storms here in the state of Florida, the Guard is ready to go, and they're very, very helpful. The Guard has done an enormous amount of stuff since COVID started. We sent them very early on to help protect nursing homes, help to test the elderly residents. They played a huge role in vaccine distribution, and anytime we need help, they're there for that. So very appreciated, I think, organization in Florida, but particularly for all the different things that they've done. And then, of course, we've got some great military installations throughout our state. Here in Northeast Florida, we've got fantastic installations. You look at Northwest Florida, you look at the Tampa Bay area, look at all the way down to the Keys with the NAS down there. So we're proud of that. We're proud that a lot of active duty members are here working in Florida, and we believe having a strong active duty component is not only something we're proud of just from a patriotic perspective, but it's also good for our communities. I mean, when you have strong bases, that has a really positive economic impact in the surrounding areas. And so in Florida, we really want to help support that. We want to make sure that folks that these communities are really able to benefit, and that we can work in concert when appropriate with the military services to make sure that we have the appropriate infrastructure in place so that they have great footprint here for themselves, but then we also can capitalize on that and help benefit our community. So today, I'm happy to announce that the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity and Enterprise Florida are awarding $3.4 million for military communities and bases across the state through the Defense Infrastructure Grant Program, the Defense Reinvestment Grant Program, and the Florida Defense Support Task Force Grant Program. Most of that money will be in Northeast Florida and Northwest Florida, where we have such heavy installations presence. For Northeast Florida, we're doing almost $1 million for Clay County to provide a buffer area around Camp Blanding, to maintain facilities at Camp Blanding, and to help develop a strategic sites inventory for future development. Nearly $500,000 to the city of Jacksonville to jointly acquire restrictive use easements of property in the military influence zone at Naval Air Station Jacksonville, and almost $100,000 to the city of Jacksonville to continue efforts to bring shipbuilding and maintenance plans to Naval Station Mayport and work towards the goal of hosting a nuclear aircraft carrier in the Jacksonville region once again. Here at Camp Blanding, of course, this is the main site for Florida's National Guard. It's important that its security be maintained. We want to prevent encroaching development that could undermine that perimeter. This is a site that was used all the way back in World War II. It really does have a storied history. We want to maintain its upkeep, and this investment will really help meet both of those needs, and so we're really excited about it. The National Guard is always someone we call on and can depend on, and we want to make sure that this base is in good stead. So we're going to continue to do that. We do think that if you look around, particularly in Jacksonville and other parts of Northeast Florida, this will have, of course, benefits for the broader region, but of course, some of the money dedicated to the city is going to help buttress our efforts. And there's not very many places around the country that could credibly argue with Jacksonville and Northeast Florida or rival them in terms of military friendliness. And so we think this is a really critical part of the DNA of this part of the state, and we're happy to be able to continue to help. So we're going to continue. We did in the budget last year that I signed, we had $20 million for military members, family, retirees across a whole host of different programs. We also, for the first time, expanded our school choice offerings to basically streamline in military families who are active duty and have school-age children. So we were really happy to be able to do that. This is a huge economic impact to the state, not just the active duty component, but as many of you know, the industrial component that goes into that. We have some phenomenal industrial components that are in Florida. There's been more that have moved from other parts of the country to Florida, and those are really good jobs, and they obviously play an important mission in maintaining America's security. So we're excited about doing that. I want to thank the legislature for their support over the years, and of course this year for these missions. And we're going to have some folks come up and say a few words about it. But I think that our legislature overwhelmingly hugely supportive of our military communities, our installations, our active duty component, and our veterans. And that's not true in every state, but it's definitely true here. So we're going to have Colonel Johnson come up and speak, Chief of Staff at the Florida National Guard. So.
Did you catch that there about the 6.5 minute mark, maybe 6 minutes and 40 seconds? We have a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier heading for Florida. They can't stop us. They know they can't stop us. As much as they want to, and by they I mean the mainstream media and the liberals in D.C., want to complain and whine about our direction, they can't stop us. And there's a reason they can't stop us. Because they're dealing with people, actually millions of us, that have worn the uniform, done the training, and know how to fight. And I will leave it there. But once again, go check out the Patriot Nurse from this morning, because it'll give you the contrast between what's going on in Florida and what's going on everywhere else. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys tonight on Twitch.